Soviet tanker was burnt all over but still kept his fighting position. When his comrades saw that he was still breathing, they rushed him to the field hospital. Doctors found that he had 95% burns on his body and severe septicemia. It's a miracle he's still alive, but he wouldn't last much longer than 2 hours at the most. But to everyone's surprise, the man seemed to have special powers and was able to heal himself. 3 weeks later, he not only survived, but also grew new skin. But unfortunately, he lost his memory. He couldn't remember who he was, where he came from, or if he had a family. The only thing he remembers is driving a tank. The military learnt that his name was Ivan and that he was about 30 years old and a good tank driver from the information that was left inside the tank. But nothing else, according to the theory. A soldier with such a serious injury should not be allowed to go back to war. But at the time of the Soviet-German War, the front line was in dire need of tankers like Ivan. So the military had no choice but to send him to the front again. When he got off the train and saw the wreckage of the tanks pulled back from the battlefield, Ivan looked puzzled. A passing officer asked him what he was doing. Ivan replied that the tank in question had been destroyed by a White Tiger tank. The officer was surprised. "How did you know?" Ivan said the tank told him. When he heard about the White Tiger, the officer's face immediately changed, and he thought that the accident was insane and should be sent to a mental hospital instead of the front line. It turns out that the White Tiger tank is a legend that the Soviets are afraid to talk about. It is said that this White Tiger tank always appeared suddenly from the smoke of the battlefield to kill all the Soviet tanks and then mysteriously disappeared. This phantom tank caused the Soviets heavy losses, so in order to get rid of this big problem, the Soviets planned to rebuild a T-34 tank to compete with it. They enhanced the tank's mobility, thickened its armor and increased the caliber of its gun. It took 15 days to complete the conversion. After the selection process, Ivan became the captain of the tank. Thanks to his excellent driving skills, he was also assigned a sharpshooter and a loader to test their abilities. The chief asked how far a barn in the distance was. The marksman said 640 meters. Then the officer told them to destroy the barn and only fire 2 shots. Everyone thought it was an impossible task, but Ivan and the tank, together, were able to hit the barn wherever they wanted with a single shot. Seeing that the 3 of them worked so well together, the officer was confident of destroying the White Tiger tanks. A few days later, news came from the front that the White Tiger had destroyed 10 Soviet tanks again. Ivan received the order and immediately rushed to the scene. Just one look at the destroyed tanks and combined with the surrounding terrain, he concluded that the White Tiger tanks were hiding in the nearby woods. Then he came up with a plan to lure the enemy.